All right, what's up, YouTube? We are just going to do a quick talk about one of my favorite subjects that is very close to my heart, and that is, as you can see here, what I'm clicking, biblical cosmology. And we're going to go to images, and this is all that comes up. What is that? Well, today they call it flat Earth, which is okay. But really, it's just called biblical cosmology, or I like to call it the truth. So, as you can see here, this is pretty close to what the Bible talks about because the firmament in Isaiah 40:22 covers the earth as a tent. You have to have a flat earth to cover it like a tent. Can't cover a ball with a tent, okay? It doesn't work. Also, they call it sea level for a reason. Because at a certain point, it is level. Water does not curve around a moving, spinning, flying ball. It is not even normal science. It is science falsely so called. 1 Timothy 6, verses 20 and 21. And this is a very nice picture right here. But as we can see, we zoom in, we see the sun, the moon, and the stars inside of the firmament that covers Earth as a tent. Very similar to the tabernacle, right? When we talk about Israel, okay, like I said, it's like the golden ratio, the whirlwind. It's bigger and then it's smaller. So you have the kingdom of heaven that is heaven, and then you have the kingdom of heaven that will come down on earth. It's all macrocosm and microcosm. So again, you look at the flat earth, it's kind of like the tabernacle. And the sun and the moon go around the top and do their circuits. Clearly in Psalms 19, verse 6, it says that the sun does its circuits around the earth. Not the other way around. The earth is not circling the sun is circling the earth. Thank you very much. Okay, sometimes it takes a video to bring people down to reality. Okay, and it's a clock. If you could look down on the earth, it would be just like a stopwatch. And that's what we're in. It's about being in time. See, because outside the firmament, you're outside of time. You're outside of the watch. When you're in here, you're in the womb. You're growing, you're learning, and you're in a watch. Time is running out for common sense to kick in. Now let's take a look at some of these other ones. This is a interesting one. Notice how all that comes up is flat earth models for biblical cosmology. That's all you get. So you see the waters above the firmament. That's another funny thing is that the waters, when they came down in the flood of Noah, where did they come from? If there's this outer space and we're on a ball, how does that work? Because I know that the reason that things fall down is because they're just denser than the air. That's it. Density and buoyancy. Air is like water. It works the same way. And something that is denser than the air around it will fall. See, it's very, very simple. There's no force pulling us down to a ball. We're not flying through space at 400,000 miles an hour. It's all total nonsense, ridiculousness from the God of this world. And when you believe it and teach it, you're a little devil, even though you might not even realize it. You're working for the devil, pushing the lies more and more and more. We're in a stationary closed system, just like a snow globe. They show us all around. They shove it right in our faces with snow globes and, all the domes, the arenas, right? You even go to the, what is it called, where you lay back and you look up and they have the light show at the top of the dome. It's called something. It's in California, I think. And it's just so simple. But some people want to complicate. I just heard a guy, oh, well, it's not completely flat. When does it start curving, and when does water start curving around? When does sea level not become sea level? Right? Where does that start happening? It doesn't. It really does not start happening at certain points. All of a sudden, the natural laws of physics, change at a certain point out in the sea. It doesn't happen. It doesn't make any scientific sense. Okay, God created this place. We call the study of how he did it science. And it's very simple to see. But I just heard a person complicate it. Well, it's not all the way flat. Well, do you mean like the mountains and stuff? Yeah, sure, there's different levels like a face. That's why the Bible calls it the face of the earth. The face, because it goes up in certain spots like a nose and down in certain spots, right? Levels back out to sea level, Do I know exactly how everything works? No, not exactly, but I know it's not a ball. And the guy says, well, it's round. He said, Jesus says it's round. No, actually, the Bible says it's a circle. It's a circle. So a quarter is a circle. A penny and nickel, that's a circle. A ball is a sphere. That's it. There is no sensible reason why people would ever think that unless they were told that and it was made up as a fantasy. That's it. And as far as how's it work outside of the firmament? Well, all the Bible tells us about that is just the heavens. That's it. And there's waters underneath. It's almost like we're on a giant island. That's how it is. We're the island boys. Right? Look at biblical cosmology. Google it yourself. You're not going to find any balls, okay? No balls. None. And yet, you have Christians that are in denial still. All right? And then the guy says, well, I'm not a scientist. He's trying to explain all these things. And then all of a sudden he says, but the earth is not completely flat. Well, I thought you weren't a scientist. Which one was it? You're either a scientist and you know what you're talking about or you don't. All of a sudden you have a fact about exactly if Earth is flat or not, but you just said you weren't a scientist. I just don't think people realize that words matter. This was pretty cool. I've never seen this one. It shows the rainbow above the throne, right? That was that angel wings. We are in a womb. We are in a clock. That's what it is. And again, the whole Bible just alludes to all of this. Up is up and down is down. And for that to be true, you can't be on a ball. There can't be any roundness. Because as soon as there's a place where it's not level, so to speak, right? Then when you point up, you're actually pointing to the side or you're pointing down. You're not pointing up anymore. You see? It just makes it so nonsensical. This is all under biblical cosmology. Gee whiz, it's just packed. Just packed full of stuff. Like I said before, I think the firmament is some type of, field. Almost like a force field, frequencies. I'm not exactly sure. The Bible doesn't tell us. I don't need to know that, though. And I don't need to know all the specs. So again, Earth is, as we understand, it's level. The better word for it is level. That's the word. You don't have to call it flat. You call it level. It's level, all right. This island that we're on or whatever it is. It's level. Maybe I should change my icon. Research level Earth. How about that?